Welcome back. This is Spectre. Vanquish Gaming League 2v2 Season 2. Exciting, riveting, unbelievable Game 3. We're here with Team SeanPaul and Team AngerManagement. And let me tell you, what a matchup. If you have not seen Games 1 and 2, I highly recommend it. This has been one hell of a matchup. We're down to Game 3. This is winner take all. This is all tied up. This is anyone's game. We have the underdogs, Be Nasty and Jet Flyer. These guys have put one hell of a showing, doing a crushing victory in Game 1 as they take the veterans by surprise and completely swept them away. Game 2, very much a back and forth 40-minute marathon match, ending with a victorious and slightly better macroed Team SeanPaul. Of course, Sloan, even though he is new to the tournament circuit, has been in Vanquish Gaming for quite a while, just taking some time. He's a little gun shy, if you know what I mean. He's definitely pulled it out though in these matches, and he has been able to really bring it. And he has not really I hate to say he's a new guy because he kind of has a little bit more veterancy to him. He's been playing with Vanquish Gaming for quite a bit now, and just a little new to the tournament pressure, I suppose. And then of course the legendary, the one and only El Pollo Loco, of course King of the Hill champion, semi-finalist, playoffs. Usually always in the running for any kind of championship, no matter what season or tournament he's a part of. And this is it. It comes down to this. Now, here's my call on it. Here's my take on it. If Team SeanPaul win this, people expect it. People expect them in a Game 3 situation when you've got two teams. You expect the more veteran team to put it down, to be professional, and to get it done. However, Team AngerManagement has shown a lot of heart. They've shown that even though they're a new team, Jet being really new, they've shown that they have the skill and they have the heart to kind of push through. And do they make a little bit more mistakes? Yeah. Do they have sometimes a few moments where some bad micro, or they waste a little money here or there? Sure, they do, but they have the heart, and you see them using that heart. They never give up. They push through all the time, and they basically have shown that they are competitive. No matter what anybody says, they are a competitive team. So we'll have to see how this Game 3 rolls out. It could go either way. Will we see another rush from them? We don't know. We do already see a little bit of harassment here from Pollo. Very consistent in all the games. He's pretty much pushed up with a drone. You see them getting some early eyes on this very tempting landing spot. We've seen a lot of doom drops from both of these teams. So any of these secret little hideaway places need to be guarded. This one, unfortunately, is not. Look at this huge landing zone with a sign that says, "Please doom drop me." And B, of all people, Be Nasty, doom dropped into oblivion last game. He really should be on top of this. Of course, it's still a little early. Expect a cannon over here. I would suspect at least a pylon. So far, pretty standard play here. We do see a little bit of a bunker wall off here for Sloan, kind of keeping things safe on the shared bases. Sooner than later, Pollo's going to want to come out from that and expand. We've seen him expand pretty early in both of these games. Oh, I hear something. Sounds like Banelings. And there they are. Banelings getting ready to roll. Do you see this wall off as well? It looks like they will be going for an early attack. Look, 3 games in a row. They are not going to balk at the pressure or the expectation. They don't care if they're pretty much expecting them to do this. They're going to do it anyway. This is what I meant about the heart over mistakes. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. Your heart is big enough, you do it. And that's what this team is all about. And they've managed the anger pretty well in Game 1. Game 2, epic matchup. Game 3, can they bring it? We definitely see a better prepared. This is obviously this base matchup's much better than last map, Molten Core. You had separate bases. It was much harder for them to kind of rally together as a team and keep it protected. This expansion always going to be a little vulnerable, but this is much easier to defend here. We see Pollo not needing the spines as much, going with more Ling Bling, very early Ling Bling, kind of one basing that for now. And we do see Jet building a early expansion as well. Looks like more of a macro fest here. We do see Pollo still poking at this wall. He wants to make sure he knows what they're building, where they've been, where they're going. He's going to keep an eye on this. They want to make sure if there's any early rollouts of units that they can see it coming. You see warp gates underway. Pretty solid build. Let's go ahead and take a look at income. You see here Pretty solid across the board. We do see Pollo and B catching up a little bit. B always a little bit behind early game on the resources. Pollo usually not, but going for that early Ling Bling has cost him a little bit, an opportunity cost. So we do see that expansion coming down now. Looks like a little bit of reports of lag. Looks like everything's alright though. It doesn't seem to be anything pertinent. We do see these Marines kind of balling up here. Some Marauders joining the party. Let's go ahead and take a look at that production tab. We do see some more Marines and Marauders coming down. No unit production other than a Spine Crawler from Pollo. And it looks like Sloan is going with his standard medevac build. And this expansion has been detected already very far away. Very questionable location such early in the game. Jet Flyer going for basically almost the furthest expansion on their half of the map that he could possibly pick. You would think he would go for this one, a little closer, a little easier to defend. This Marine needs to kill this drone, or all of them, whoever. It's been hanging out for a little too long, and it looks like it's not even under control, so it will go down easily. And we do see the long journey back for this command center, basically a blimp coming back to land over here where it should have been to begin with. Much easier to defend, especially for a natural. You don't want to go with your first expansion. I'm not a big fan of these ninja expansions in the middle of nowhere, especially as your first expansion. I mean, some games it makes sense, but to do it early on like that, you're really gambling for no reason. Like this is, especially on this map, this is much easier to defend expansion here, and you have the benefit of your teammate nearby as well. So we do see quite a bit of an army stacked up here, basically like the jumbo supersized version of the attack that we saw them use in the last two games. Coming in a little later, we're almost 9.5 minutes now, so it is a little bit of a later attack, but it's basically just a supersized version, you know. And we do see a Widow Mine out. Not a lot of Widow Mines. You would think with two Terrans we would have seen more Widow Mines here. Not a whole lot of Widow Mines, however. This is a good place to use it. Definitely want to scatter them around, not make them predictable in location. They're definitely great at softening up armies. Some would say too great, but that's for another cast. And we do see some traction over here, some Ling Bling still rolling around. We do still have some more Blings there. But that looks like that speed should be coming soon. Actually, yeah, it looks like a layer is underway, so we'll have that soon enough. And that scan coming down. No motion, though, from the army. It looks like not enough medevacs yet for Jet to attempt any kind of doom drop, but we know one has to be coming. Still have eyes over here on these different expansions, making sure no one tries to take anything. Pollo doing a great job of early map control, wants to make sure he knows where everything is, where everyone's located. He's got both of these locked down, Zelnagas. B, on the other hand, finally putting some cannons out here. Now, of course, you know, we see that ping coming down for Sloan. He is not aware that those cannons are there. So he's going to go ahead and attempt to doom drop there. But before he does that, he will most likely discover this. Well, no, these rocks are pretty intimidating. But keep going, Jet. I promise it gets better. So he's shooting these rocks down. If he attempts to expand here, which would be 3 expansions fairly quick, he definitely has an army to try and hold it back. This is a different style for them. Be Nasty usually opting for early attack, so this is definitely a different style here. It looks like he's going to leave these rocks just barely alive. Well, they're not alive, but you know what I mean. Just barely intact, and another Widow Mine down. It looks like very defensive posture from what I'm seeing here. Pollo, of course, is just going to go ahead and take advantage. It looks like he will also try to take down these rocks. A Roach, maybe the first time we've seen a Roach in these matchups. Definitely a welcomed addition to the party. And Sloan ready to go. 3 medevacs full of goodness, ready to drop all over on somebody. And it looks like we will have an expansion from B down here on the gold. They have not seen the Zergling yet. And it looks like they will be, yeah, Sloan will be able to skirt past this expansion before they're able to see it. Unfortunately, he's going to get wedged in these cannons. It's not going to be pretty. It looks like he saw them just in time and pulled back. Yeah, he did spot those just in time. And it looks like this will go down, and Sloan will go ahead and take advantage of this base. Unfortunately, Jet is coming in, and oh, the legendary Be Nasty DTs. Slicing people like Fruit Ninja, just going to town on the remaining forces there, and Sloan making it out with only 1 medevac and a handful of very scared Marines to tell the story. That, of course, tipping the hand a little bit in favor of the, you know, I would say in favor of Team SeanPaul. They now are aware of DTs on the field. assuming that their ears were good enough to hear that. And you know, you have to see if they respond with any kind of detection. It looks like they have. Poyo already with an overseer here. Sloan's single medevac hanging out. We do see another expansion almost operational here for Sloan, or first expansion I should say. We do have another expansion though for Poyo underway. He's so eager, he's already sending the workers. He's like, I don't care if the store is open, just send the merchandise. And we do see a little bit of build-up, some siege tanks underway. Let's go ahead and take a look at that production, see if we have any surprises coming out. And it looks like everything's pretty standard so far. We do see Colossus coming out for B, as well as some speed for those Banelings. Let's take a look at unit count armies. We now have 5 DTs on the field. We do have some big Marine Marauder with some siege tank. And looks like we do have an ample amount of roaches here with, but look at the larva that is being floated here from Poyo. I mean, he is just floating 40 larvae. He could resurrect something any second using that. He is a little short on resources, but that's not going to be a problem for very long as this gold is now fully operational. So we have them on 3 bases. Let's go ahead and take a look at that income. You see here, Be Nasty drastically behind everyone else. Only 21 harvesters. We're at the 15-minute mark on the game. This game's already turned into a macro fest, but Be Nasty just one basing this a little too long here. And in all honesty, Jet's going for his 3rd already. He is very, very behind. He does have a goal to try and catch up, but just right now playing a very slow game. And normally with B, this is not as much of a problem because he relies on the success of his early attacks to kind of make up for the fact that he's got a slower build going on. But in this case, not helping him. This macro game is definitely making him, you know, kind of the weaker link here. We do see these mutas now about to roll in, and they will, to their surprise, find, oh my god, look at this floating elephant. Oh, and they do not take advantage of that. Instead, they circle around the back. They will be met with some missile turrets, and they will retreat. Unfortunately, the mutas did not get what they wanted, so they will come back to this big floating cow and pretend like this is what they always intended to do. Meanwhile, enormous marine ball on its way. That stim could come in handy about now, but it looks like Jet is content with just chasing that army away. Does not want to overcommit. Not sure. He's probably a little traumatized after game 2 when that entire army just resurrected out of the ground and melted all of his soldiers. He's probably a little more careful where he steps, because you do not want to step in Poyo. Meanwhile, we do have a nice composite army here. Roaches, Lings, and Blings. Roaches, of course, a new addition to this army composition. Lots of scans going down. Where are these going down from? There we go. So they've detected that Sloan has done a little bit of engineering work over here, and he has built himself a nice little side base. Of course, it would have been very obvious from the sensor tower. And we do see some poking in over here. Looks like the back of this mineral line is exposed enough where he might be able to, yeah, he's going to find himself a nice little spot those cannons can't reach, and he's going to just go ahead and take out as many of these workers as he can. He will take out, looks like only 1 is remaining. He will bug out, though, before these Argons can make any, you know, any qualms about it. Sloan's army building up nicely here. At 134 supply cap, let's take a look here. We got 192 possibility for Poyo. I'm sure he's got more of that about to come out. Infestor's now joining the party. This is basically looking like a 200 army battle here. 181 for Jetflyer, though, and we have Thors now. Jesus, might as well just build Thors, too. Who cares? Hellbats, Hellions. Got everything in there. Vikings. You know what? I say you build a battle cruiser and just throw it in. Why not? At this rate, this game is turning into a huge macro battle. Do you see an expansion attempt here will be denied by the Zergling, or at least be made extremely annoying to accomplish. These armies are a little split up, not too much, not too far away, but a little split up. We do see some more separation here from Team SeanPaul, but we do see another Zerg base going down. It's going to be 4 bases total. There has been no check on this. Of course, we do see these mutas still harassing. And notice these are the same mutas, the same exact mutas that he has built from the beginning. He is keeping them alive, using that rapid regen out of combat, and just kind of just very patiently denying, making these Marines run around all over the map. These stores, of course, are going to help out a little bit in trying to keep these mutas in check. We do see now some motion here from B spotted by that Zergling and now being detected by Sloan. So we do see some motion here as this Zerg army immediately responds. However, you do need to remember that there is a marauding Terran army out there as well. We do see Sloan now also responding. It looks like a little bit of a separation here. It looks like we will have dual engagements. And oh no, Jetfire caught without an attack move. And he loses half of his army instantly. Oh, and this is where you see the newness, the fresh, the newbie-ish of Jetfire kind of come back to haunt him. And wow, just lost half of that army because he forgot to attack move on the way. He may have done it intentionally. I can't understand why. And now he leaves Be Nasty, his army, to kind of get sandwiched in here. He is the wrong part of that Oreo cookie as he just got squished in between those two armies, and now they will just roll in. That is right there a mistake that will cost you not just a game but a series, as this will now go down. They had every possibility. It was fairly even across the board. There was a slight advantage in the army size for SeanPaul, but they still had definitely a chance there to be able to make a neck-and-neck battle, and they totally botched it. That Jetfire has got to be kicking himself as he is watching all his hard work be completely destroyed. That army, unfortunately, just crippled, and by none other than Poyo. That's 2 games in a row. This may be the start of a rivalry. You know, that of course is probably just me instigating, but that is definitely going to be a talking point for these games, because it's just every time that early game, Jet really showed that he can be an early rusher, he can match B's playstyle, and he can put a hurt down on a champion like Poyo. And Poyo responding both games, in Game 2 and Game 3, crushing you know, Jetfire's army, taking advantage of mistakes, definitely showing his veterancy. Sloan, of course, I mean, I can't say enough about Sloan's competitive play here. I mean, he has just done a great job. Look at these banelings just morphing in his face. Literally, I'm gonna morph in your base. I mean, that's just ungentlemanly at that point. But you know, Sloan definitely showing his determination. He has held it together, and we have had 2 games, Game 1 and Game 2. Poyo was targeted and crippled a little early, more in Game 1 than Game 2. And Sloan really coming to bat in both cases. I mean, obviously Game 1 was a lost cause, but Game 2 really holding it together long enough for Poyo to kind of bring it back around, and you know, really just showing a great team effort there. Jet, of course, resigning himself from the game early already. A very incredible show of events there, as basically you know, the Zerg harassment force has kept the rest of his bases completely unmineable. Meanwhile, this rebuilt Zerg army, now reinforced with Ultralis, is going to roll in and cripple B's gold. It looks like they will get a little distracted by that Colossus there, and by this one. And this is really just a matter of time now. It's a 2-on-1. There's detection, so unfortunately the classic Be Nasty Dark Templars are not going to be good enough, and there it is, the resignation from B, as Game 3, a very slow build-up, a very long 20-minute build-up to this enormous macro game, and one mistake later, we see Team SeanPaul rolling to victory. And that's what it comes down to, especially in games where you build up these huge armies. There's no smaller battles taking place. You just kind of wait until you hit the 200 cap or close to it, and then you roll in, and you run the risk of putting yourself one mistake away from victory, or from loss. And that's exactly what we saw here. It was one mistake in favor of SeanPaul, took advantage of it. Jetflyer's army immediately crushed, made it a 2-on-1 scenario, and it was GG. So an excellent series played. We did see some excellent show of force from Team AngerManagement. I'm excited to see what they have to bring. I mean, this is their very first debut, and I think it was a strong one. I mean, they played one of the stronger teams, one of the more favored teams in the season. They put forth one hell of a battle. As a matter of fact, I'd say Game 3 was their weakest showing. Game 2, they really made them fight for it. You know, Game 3, just one misstep, unfortunately. It could have gone either way. Had he not made that mistake, not attacked, if he had attacked move instead of moved, you don't know. We might still have another 45-minute game on our hands that could have gone either way. But either way, it was an excellently played game. Very excited to see what Team AngerManagement has in store for us for the rest of the season. This, of course, makes Team SeanPaul 2-0. No big surprise there. They did drop one game, possibly tarnishing a flawless sweep of all their series, but definitely maintaining, at least at this point, maintaining first place. So we'll have to see how the other teams shape up for week 2, and we're not even at the halfway point yet. So lots of exciting season play in store. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for the next game in week 2.